Surely the presence of the divine is in this place. And that's true all the time. The presence of the divine is wherever you are, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, anywhere in the entire universe. The only thing that isn't present all the time is maybe our awareness. We just forget. We get focused on other things, on Dancing with the Stars or being a millionaire. But the presence of the divine is in everything. It is all that is the consciousness that makes up this universe. And our assignment is just to think about that once in a while, be aware, and know that that is truth. And so it is. What's your turn, Wayne?
Oh, again?
Again.
Look at all these wonderful people out here. He's playing music. He's going to talk to us. You all snuck in behind my back. Boy, do I have a mini message for you folks today.
Well, good.
I actually put a title on it. It's called, Say, Can You Lend a Hand? Did any of you happen to see the article on Saturday in the Press Democrat? On the front page, it said, Region's youth may lose lifeline. And it went on to talk about social advocates for youth in Santa Rosa, which is a very, very helpful nonprofit organization that serves up to 67, 80 young people, mostly teenagers. The maximum age for people to be served by, say, Social Advocates for Youth is 18 years old. And these are folks who were formerly in foster care homes or have been homeless. And it's the only youth-oriented organization to assist those folks in the whole county. So it's a very important organization. Say, well, in the past, our church here gives a quarterly tithe to various nonprofits, and we have given our quarterly tithe to Say before. And in fact, we just gave another $150 tithe today to Social Advocates for Youth, because we really do support what they do. Thank you. But they need a lot more than $150 right now, as it turns out. They own and operate something they call the Dream Center on Summerfield Avenue in Santa Rosa, and they're housing a bunch of formerly homeless or foster children. And They've got like, oh, how many on the waiting list? There's 34 additional youngsters on a waiting list to get in, but they only have beds for 67. Well, they also do some outreach. They do outreach into the community. They have a crisis hotline for teenagers in trouble, and they can call in and get some help. So they're doing a vital service for our young people in our county. They are now at a crisis though. Their Dream Center was donated to them by Sutter Pacific Health Association a few years back. And so they started their Dream Center, and that's where they're housing all the young folks. Guess what? Federal regulations were changed recently that says you can no longer have more than 20 youth in a location. So they're suddenly going to be violating the law. They cannot continue to operate there. So they need to come up with $1 million very soon. Sometime later this week, they have to make a decision. Are we going to try and sell our Dream Center in order to then be able to purchase or lease some smaller facilities so that we can have 4, 5, 6, 20 bed units? They need to keep going, but they can't quite do it. They've got to know very shortly whether or not they're going to have enough commitments that they can say, we've got $1 million coming now, and we need another couple of million in the next couple of years to be able to go ahead, have the time to sell the Dream Center and use those funds to pick up leases or whatever to find 4, 5, 6 smaller units to house these people in. They're very deserving, they're very needy. I called them Saturday. I had to call a few times to find them because, like us, some of them don't work on the weekends, but I was able to talk to a number of people there, and I talked to the communications manager, and she said that it's really vital that they find out sometime this coming week how many people have committed to helping them. So they got 2 for sure. On Saturday, Nancy and I committed to a certain amount of funds coming to them every month until we see that they're out of trouble. And I'm hoping that other folks might do somewhat the same thing. So if you find yourself interested in finding out more, I recommend that you go to saysc.org online. That's SAYSC, which stands for Sonoma County.org. And if in fact you think you might want to look at it and investigate more, I have handouts here that give a little bit more information or some of the same information about what they're trying to do. And it gives you that website, saysc.org, for you to go online and decide if there's anything you might want to do. And a bare minimum, maybe you could spread the word. They need our help. And this is one of those times stop it, Wade. You can get through this. When our commitment for time, treasure, thought, and talent really makes a difference. Namaste.
Right, thank you. Thank you very much, Wayne. That's oddly enough, that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, is organizations like SAY. And so, and if anybody just wants to write him $1 million check, I'm sure Wayne has the address, so they'd be happy to do that. And so, good morning, and I'm glad to see every one of you here. A couple of you especially, I'm glad to see. And this is a little out of step, but Wayne was talking about young people. And this morning, your board met and they signed a contract again, and you're stuck with me for another year, it appears. And so thank you very much. And Douglas, could you come up here for just a second? It's all right. You don't have to do anything. I just found something. We were talking about young people, and this was taken just right after my second birthday in 1949. My dad had a weekly newspaper, and I was the star. I was 1950. And you might want to pass that around when people look and see I've been in the paper a long time. Most of it's been good. A couple times not so good, but you can pass that. Anyway, I was adorable then too. It just keeps getting, I just kept getting better. It's odd the way that worked out. Thursday, spiritual book study. When is it going to happen? This week, this Thursday at 10 o'clock, right here? Good. The Healing Circle is still on hiatus for another month?
Till February.
Till February? Okay, all right. Today, immediately following the service, long enough to get a cup of coffee, we're going to remove, Kelly's running the tear down decoration crew. And the door to the closet is unlocked and you're ready. We do have coffee and cookies and stuff next door for fellowship after our service. Our annual meeting, we got everything set for the annual meeting, and it will be on the 28th. That's potluck Sunday. So bring some potluck and come and participate in our members' meeting where we elect a new board of directors. We approve a budget, and we can do any other kind of new or old business you want to do. It's your time to participate. So that's on the 28th, right after church. And we're usually out of here by 1:30, so it's not like a 3 or 4 hour ordeal. It's pretty quick. I'll pass these out. Actually, Douglas, would you mind putting these on the table in the back? Pam Bourne passed away on December 30th, and we are going to be having a memorial here. We believe it's going to be in April, and I think Kelly and Joelle are going to work with Jenny, her daughter, in figuring out and putting that celebration of life together. So we'll keep you posted when the date is set. And but Pam was a member here for probably 20 years, and she was quite a talented artist. She'd go down to all the festivals and the farmers markets and do kids face painting. She played the auto harp. She sang. Her voice, the last year or two, it got a little hard for her, but she sang Christmas Eve, Oh Holy Night, for decades, every Christmas Eve. And her voice was just like this fine little crystal high voice. And it was a tradition here at Church of the Oaks. And so anyway, Pam has spent the last couple of years up in Medford, Oregon, in a care facility. And but anyway, her daughter called me and she passed on December 30th. So, and I do have her daughter's email and phone number if you want to send anything to her. I don't know what her address is, but if you want to send any condolences or anything like that, just let me know and I'll be happy to pass that on. Are there any other announcements? What?
Approved on Thursday.
Okay. All right. All right. That means then let's stand up and sing "Life is for Living." Let's sing it like we mean it. Just And now is the time when we greet each other in the traditional Church of the Oaks fashion.
Glad to see you. Glad to see you.
I did not even have time. That's one of the most difficult ones. Always need to-
It'll be fine, man. It'll be fine. Trust me.
You're just very guilty.
There you go.
I get a big old safety. Yeah, I'm breathing. Let it go.
Hi, Bueller. Was anybody warming up yet? I think we ought to just kind of hug and hold hands the rest of the service. Just everybody just come up here and hug up. What Wayne was talking about this morning, our tithing consciousness, our sharing, our time, our talent, our thought, and our treasure. That's an integral part of the abundance of the entire universe. And that's us. We're what makes the universe work. Part of what makes it work. So let's keep that in mind as we read together our affirmation of abundance, may we? The consciousness of abundance is knowing that there is always enough, and there is. Wayne? Thank you, Wayne. As we prepare for our meditation, let's sing together number 66 in the wings. I clothe myself safely round.
We started this year with our candlelight service, where one flame grew as one person's candle lit the next person's candle, who in turn lit the next person's candle until all the candles were lit, all while we sang, one light lights another light, lights another. Collectively, we increased the amount of light surrounding us. In today's meditation, let's first focus on the light within each of us. As you quiet your mind, let that light within you grow to be as bright, so bright that it illuminates and blinds you from any concerns or thoughts. Let it illuminate your whole body, spreading first from your torso to your limbs and, of course, your head. And there let it still the mind. Each breath you take fuels that internal flame to grow. At some point, you may choose to expand your light out to others simply by being peaceful within yourself. So let's begin with comfortable, slow breaths as one light, our lights, light another, and collectively create the huge flame of love. As we begin to close this meditation, remind yourself you always have that light within. And the love of God surrounds you. The love of God protects you. And so it is.
Thank you, Kelly. This, beginning this new year, we've all had greetings and we've all had thoughts, and I don't suppose there's anybody here that wouldn't like to have a new year filled with happiness and joy and contentment, self-satisfaction, and maybe an increase in awareness, expansion of awareness. When I use the word fulfillment intentionally, we all have a different probably idea of what fulfillment means. Webster has some words, and the last word, the last definition is why I chose fulfillment. Accomplishment, a sense of accomplishment, sense of achievement. Fulfillment can be realization. But the interesting definition of fulfillment is it's a completeness, being complete. And we talk about here all the time, sharing our time, our talent, our thought, and our treasure. Wayne spoke about it this morning. And those are the four major aspects of life, the four different areas of life that pretty much everything stems from. And I would like to talk about serving humanity in all of those areas, sharing your time, your talent, your thought, and your treasure. And like when you write a check and give it to somebody, that makes you feel good. But it doesn't necessarily make you feel complete. You shared a portion of your life. But when you find yourself, we went down and did a pancake breakfast, Douglas and Linda. Did you have a good time doing that?
Yes.
It was work, but didn't you feel like when you were doing that, how could you think about anything else except what you were doing, and you were in a state of, I will say, a state of completeness. All the good stuff in you, in us, was working all at the same time. Our purpose, our gratitude for having abundance to share, our desire to serve and do something nice. We shared our time, our talent, our thought, and our treasure, all at the same time. And there are so many people doing that. I was talking to somebody, I think our world is in a state of consciousness expansion right now. I'm going to talk about a couple of things. What do you know about the Red Cross? You know anything about the Red Cross? It was formed, Clara Barton was the lady, a nurse that formed the Red Cross in 1881. And to help soldiers, take care of soldiers when they got back from the Spanish-American War. In 1900, the US government called the Red Cross the Veterans Aid society and disaster, disaster relief. Thank you. And it has grown and grown and grown. And they didn't have paid positions back in those days. It grew because people completed their lives. They found fulfillment in working with, volunteering their time, their talent, their thought, and their treasure, serving humanity through that organization called the Red Cross. In 1940, they started a blood bank. This turned into the biggest blood bank in the world, the biggest disaster relief organization in the world. Right now, the last record they have 50% of the blood, they supply 50% of the blood needed from their blood bank in the world. It's amazing. That all happened because people chose to serve humanity and give their time and their talent and their thought and their treasure. And in so doing, found fulfillment. That includes joy, that includes all the different emotions and feelings that we can have. We partner with COTS. COTS was formed in 1988 by Mary Isaacs, and I got her name written down here somewhere, Lori Retchick. 1988. It started off in the basement of a bookstore, and it gave shelter to homeless people in the winter. And once in a while, they had some meals, and they donated food, and they cooked a lot of soup, a lot of noodles. And people volunteered, hundreds and hundreds of people volunteered, hundreds and thousands of people gave money. And now COTS has the Mary Isaacs Center. They have so many services. They have Mary's Table that will feed anybody who shows up 2 meals a day. No questions asked, no money involved. Just show up and eat. The Mary Isaacs Center, COTS, has a building that has 80 beds in it. Additionally, they put 25 tiny houses around their parking lot. They have bathrooms as facilities, laundry facilities, shower facilities, the restaurant. They have a small clinic. They have Montero Suites at Montero is what it's called. It's the old Motel 6. 62 people have permanent residence there. We've helped a lot with that. They have, I think, more than a dozen rentals like our Rose Cottage that we partner with COP. There are literally hundreds of people who are now being housed and getting back into mainstream society, all because people chose to share their time, their talent, their thought, and their treasure. And we give a little money to COTS once in a while through our tithing. And that's nice. That's something we can do, sharing our abundance. But it's when we get together and get all the stuff with the welcome baskets, and we go to Walmart and we go to Target and the dollar store and and fill it up and then carry it down there. So when we have the pancake breakfast, when we have the pancake breakfast for our whole town at Kids Day, most of you show up and work. And some of you do some pretty not really pleasant tasks during that. But I don't see anybody complaining. Everybody enjoys themselves. Because when you are serving humanity, you become a part of humanity. I'm going to tell you something that you can write it down if you want to, but I think it's the most powerful statement I've heard. Not a person in this room can do everything that this world needs to have done. Not a single person can do everything that this world needs to have done. But this world needs everything you can do. A year and a half ago, a year ago, at our annual meeting, you asked that I find people to come and talk to our congregation about opportunities to volunteer. And we had COTS come, and we had Council on Aging come, we had Redwood Gospel Mission come. And with those three organizations alone, there are more opportunities to volunteer than I think collectively we have time to volunteer for. Redwood Gospel Mission feeds, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000 people at the fairgrounds every Thanksgiving. It's amazing. And they have thousands of meals they deliver to people's homes. COTS has got hundreds of people off the street. Council on Aging, I've been volunteering for them for, this is my 18th year, playing music for their day programs and their lunch programs. They do so much for the senior community, for our senior community. And something you might be interested in, who was it, was somebody was saying that one of those, we got to listen to all the politicians, it's election year on that. Yeah, we can. But maybe you could go online and look up how many nonprofits are in Sonoma County. There's not a day goes by in this country we live in when there isn't a new nonprofit incorporated. Every single day in this country, there is a new nonprofit corporation registered for the purpose of enriching people's lives in our society. We just told these politicians, how many of those people enrich the lives, volunteer their time, their talent, their thought, and their treasure to enrich the lives of the people of this world. We will continue to, Wayne shared about say this morning, and we will continue to share opportunities for each of us to find fulfillment in our lives. Opportunities to share our time, our talent, our thought, and our treasure. And we are such a phone society now, online society now. This not only serving gives us an opportunity to interact, to be close to exchange the energies and the auras of our bodies with other bodies. And that in itself is very fulfilling. When you interact with other human beings, and when there is positive energy, when there are needs being met, when there is love and compassion being shared, that's when we become complete, my dear friends. That's when all of the parts of us become in harmony and in sync and blend with all of the parts in another human being. And when we reach that place of completeness, that is fulfillment. That's the joy, that's the happiness, that's the satisfaction. And it's there for us. We've got a brand new year. I spoke last week about us having a new chapter in your life story. We can do that right here with our community. We are starting our 123rd year. This will be our 123rd annual meeting coming up at the end of the month. The first one was in June in 1901. Do you have any idea how much time, talent, thought, and treasure was shared by the people who have sat in these pews in 123 years? In that arena, that environment, we've inherited it. It's just here for us. And we can step right in and we can be the recipients of the privilege and honor of being part of this spiritual community, of owning these 3 buildings, of never running out of opportunities to enrich our lives. Maybe in a little way, maybe in a huge way. Every week we have another little topic to ponder and think and consider that might make our lives a little better, or maybe help us make the next door neighbor's life a little better. Like Kelly was speaking this morning, might allow us to be a light in a really dark place somewhere in our neighborhood. Somebody going through some really dark time. Maybe just, hi, how are you? Need anything? Hey, it's good to see you. And some gloom and doom, and maybe some bad, some grief. Every time we take advantage of an opportunity to see something or invent something, there's so much good stuff going on, and we have an infinite number of opportunities to find fulfillment in our lives. And once you've tasted some of that fulfillment, that completeness, that harmony with other human beings, harmony with the universe, harmony with the divine inside of you, it tastes pretty good. And it's actually calorie free, fat free, gluten free. It's good. And you can't get too much. And there's an infinite abundance. Just look around. You don't have to look far to find some way that you can share some of the abundance that we're all full of with somebody who could use a little help. Any questions? Have a chance to write a $1 million check? Wayne will tell you where to send it. There are so many organizations where if you want to taste some of that fulfillment, just let me know. They can use, this world can use all that we can do. And we're here walking around, enjoying the dream, living the good life. We've got problems like every living creature has problems. Excuse me, but we've got the wherewithal to live through it, to deal with it, and come out better on the other side. And like Kelly said, we always have this light the light of love and the light of the divine to share. That's all I got to say. It's all easy. Didn't have to have you do anything or write down lists or anything. I'm so pleased and proud to be part of a family that so truly cares about humanity and about each other. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. I'm grateful for everything, and I have no complaints. And that's Vivian's line. And so it is. Let's stand up and sing. I've got peace like a river.
Give me
Stop right there for a minute. Everybody hold on. I just heard Chandler saying, hey, she was wanting to grab a hand. There was a little girl that went to church here, Sierra, and when we would sing amen, she thought we were singing, hey man. And she'd sing off, hey man, hey man. So hey man, everybody.